Well, we're back from taking a long weekend, and what did we miss? Surely this Trump-Epstein situation hasn't gotten somehow even more sus than it already was. That would be crazy. But yes, of course it has.
Oh.
We've officially reached the stage of this administration just pretty clearly considering freeing convicted child sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell from prison in exchange for her going on the record and saying that Donald Trump did nothing wrong, while probably also throwing in a few obvious names like Bill Clinton and Bill Gates as people who did do something wrong, which, yeah, I mean, they probably did. But only so that Trump's rabid base finally sort of gets what they've been begging for. It's not what they've been begging for, though, because what they've been begging for is the Jeffrey Epstein files. And no one can say for sure why they haven't done that, but it probably has something to do with Donald Trump's name appearing in them multiple times.
And the way he's been acting.
And just everything.
Yeah.
Just everything about all of it. So instead, I guess we're just gonna consult a literal convicted sex trafficker who has a huge incentive to tell a version of events that's favorable to the person with the power to free her from prison.
Yeah, do you want to die in prison or get out right now? I don't know. Also, yeah, everyone online, when proposed with the, Bill Clinton's gonna show up in there. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Who
no
cares?
Fucking shit. Oh
Also, people don't fly Bill Clinton flags off their trucks.
My faves have been implicated.
Oh, boo-hoo. No, get all of them. And now, this is, of course, all very bizarre and suspicious, but it gets even more bizarre and suspicious when you find out that the person who seems to be brokering this deal is Donald Trump's former personal attorney, who is now the Deputy Attorney General. Here's NBC News from over the weekend. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche completed 9 hours of meetings over 2 days with Ghislaine Maxwell on Friday, but made no public statements about what she said or the next steps in the Justice Department's much criticized Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Former prosecutors said it was highly unusual and potentially unprecedented for the department's number 2 official to personally interview a witness. Secrecy in a criminal investigation is normal, but the prosecutors involved in the case would typically be included in question.
Well, good thing they fired the main prosecutor in this case a week ago.
I've never heard of a deputy attorney general doing anything like this before, said a former senior Justice Department official who spoke on condition of anonymity. Victims of Epstein and Maxwell, who was convicted in 2021 of recruiting and grooming multiple teenage girls to be sexually abused by the late financier, questioned the lack of transparency as well. Jack Scarola, a lawyer representing roughly 20 Epstein victims, said he asked to attend the Maxwell interviews, but was not included. Again, not really beating the very suspicious allegations.
Yeah, no, it's the Deputy Attorney General is never the guy who's personally going down to the courthouse to take 9 hours of testimony. This is fucking strange, but not that strange when you consider where this is all clearly fucking headed.
Obviously.
That continues. Maxwell's lawyer, David Oscar Marcus, is a top Florida criminal defense lawyer and a friend of Blanche's. Blanche appeared on Marcus's podcast in 2024, where the host praised Blanche's legal skills. After Friday's meeting with Blanche and Maxwell, Marcus told reporters that the Deputy Attorney General did an amazing job and asked Maxwell thorough questions. She was asked maybe about 100 different people, said Marcus, who did not disclose which individuals Maxwell was questioned about. She answered questions about everybody, and she didn't hold anything back, he said. They asked about every possible thing you could imagine. Everything. A senior administration official who spoke on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to speak publicly said that Maxwell was granted limited immunity by the Justice Department to answer questions about the Epstein case. Granting limited immunity is common in criminal cases and allows defendants to provide information without fear that it will be used against them in court.
She's already convicted, though, and serving 20 years in prison, so...
And she had, she had an opportunity to turn state's witness to potentially get less time in prison. And she gave that courtroom nothing.
I'll just say it because everyone watching's thinking it. Yes, this stinks to high heaven. P.U. This is certainly not what everyone asked for, but this is all you're going to get, and I can see what's coming.
And a lot of people, this is going to be just fine.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I've been surprised so far. But
there's a lot of cope happening.
Yeah.
A lot of people are twisting themselves in knots to cope. And I don't know. I feel like this could work.
I hope it doesn't. Yeah, if it weren't abundantly clear what's happening here. On Friday, Trump was asked about these meetings between Maxwell and Blanche, and you know what? Let's just play the clip. Here's how he responded.
Well, he's a professional lawyer. I think he's been through things like this before. But, you should focus on Clinton. You should focus on the president of Harvard, the former president of Harvard. You should focus on some of the hedge fund guys. I'll give you a list. These guys lived with Jeffrey Epstein. I sure as hell didn't. Thank you very much.
Cool. And also on Friday, Trump was asked about the potential for a Ghislaine Maxwell pardon. Here you go.
Would you consider a pardon or a commutation for Ghislaine Maxwell if she's cooperating?
It's something I haven't thought about. It's really something.
Recommended it.
It's something I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
But you wouldn't rule it out, sir?
Wow.
It's all coming together, folks. How convenient.
He's projecting what's going to happen already. Usually you'd keep it a little closer to the chest.
Well, he's saying, I hadn't thought about it until just right now when you brought it up. But now that you mention it, yeah, I could do that, I guess.
Yeah. So Trump's got a big list of fellow Epstein associates that he'd like to see outed, and he's not ruling out the possibility of pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. And yeah, if anyone knows who Jeffrey Epstein's sex crimes accomplices were, it is Ghislaine Maxwell, and it would be great to know who they are. The problem is we have no reason to trust what she has to say, and she has every reason to tell a version of events that totally exonerates the president while pinning all the blame on other Epstein associates who just so happen to be the president's political enemies, and who might be included in there anyway. So just point at the correct people and we'll be out of here.
Right.
It's fucked, folks.
Anyways, fast forward to Monday, and Trump doubled down on all of this while also finally giving an answer to a question that many have wondered for a very long time. We know that Trump and Epstein supposedly had a big falling out a few years before Epstein's death, but the specifics of this were never made clear. And, the easy answer, the layup, even if it's complete bullshit, would be that Trump didn't want to associate with a convicted sex criminal, a real creep, that Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
But that's not the answer that Trump gave on Monday.
No.
Here's the hill. President Trump said Monday he had previously turned down an offer to go to Jeffrey Epstein's private island, calling out other people he said the press should focus on as the president has tried to move on from questions about Epstein. I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them, Trump said while in Scotland meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. I'm sure Keir loved that.
Yeah, and this part's even just what a weird way to answer. He added, I never had the privilege of going to his island.
It sucks. I really wanted to go. Sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah, the privilege, sir, you're kind of telling on yourself. Maybe use some different words next time, but sounds like you really did want to go. So he said, I never had the privilege of going to his island, and I did turn him down. But a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island. It's just the most suspicious way to answer that question possible.
Yeah.
I didn't have the privilege.
But I'd like to think that if I had gone, I would have been awesome at whatever it is they do down there.
And I do want to say that it was very smart of me to do whatever I said I just did. Because
good thing I didn't, right?
I would have looked a lot worse than I already
But he was always asking me.
Yeah.
He said, Donald, you would love it down there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Jeff. I don't think so.
So when asked why he had thrown Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, the president said he didn't want to waste your time by explaining the story from years ago. For years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein because he did something that was inappropriate.
Oh, really?
He hired help.
What?
He said. He stole people that worked for me.
Huh?
I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place, Trump added. Holy shit. And let's just hear that again from Trump himself, really quick.
For years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth.
Okay, I fell out of with Jeffrey Epstein because he did something inappropriate. He poached some of my household staff.
Oh, very inappropriate, especially by Jeffrey Epstein standards. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
What? This is a new answer too, by the way, because previously he
did call him like a creep before.
Yeah, he said that he was creeping on someone at the club and he wouldn't stop after being told to stop. And apparently it was someone young. And like, a lot of people have speculated that maybe it was like Ivanka or something at the time. But like, this is a totally different story.
Yeah, I had a really good
Really good housekeeper.
And like she knew how to clean all my stuff. She knew how to clean.
Very trustworthy.
Knew how to clean all of my gold without it looking all smudged. And Jeffrey, he poached her. It's unforgivable.
And the other excuse was that it was like some kind of bad real estate deal went down.
Yeah, he said something.
So this is a brand new excuse for why they don't like each other.
And the real estate one, like that was kind of recent too. He's like they both were interested in buying the same like investment property in Palm Beach or some shit.
Literally, like, part of the whole process when someone's investigating a crime is getting the person that you're investigating to change their story multiple times to show that they don't actually remember or are lying about what happened.
It would be funny. It's totally unrealistic and unbelievable, but it would be funny if they did have a falling out over all these extremely petty things.
Yeah.
And Trump simply had no idea about the sex trafficking.
Yeah, literally signing fucking basically love letters, birthday cards, photos with him more than anyone you are in your personal life photographed with. And then all of a sudden he's like, he stole one of my best maids. That son of a bitch.
It's like when you meet someone at like a party or something, you're just like, I don't know, I got kind of a bad vibe with that guy. He sucks. For some like fucking petty reason.
Yeah.
And then like years later you find out
he's a serial killer.
Yeah, he's like actually did something bad and you're like, oh, it feels good to be right. But like you weren't right. I don't know. This is very silly.
Yeah. It also in that same press conference, Trump again reiterated that he is allowed to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know if you guys heard me the other day.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah, I do.
Just in case something happens in the near future.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised by that turn of events.
I can do whatever I want. And again, he insisted that the birthday note was fake because, quote, I don't do drawings of women.
Yeah, well, before he said, I've never written a picture, but then people were like, you've written many pictures, sir.
Yeah.
Here they are. Here's a picture of the New York skyline.
I meant a woman.
But then he changed his answer there. Okay, yeah, I have been known to doodle from time to time, but never of a woman because Donald Trump, I respect women.
I would never betray the beauty of a woman's form.
The female physique too much to let these little sausage fingers try to draw one.
That's right.
Because it would never be as, it sounds like the drawing in that you found is quite voluptuous. I could never draw breasts.
Yeah.
Always just circle. Never gave me a hard one.
No.
So it couldn't have been me. So yeah, that's where things are at with that for now. And there's certainly more to come.
Yeah.
This story is constantly developing. And while calling this all a distraction is idiotic, and I wish people would stop doing that.
That's what's insane too, is like you get fucking Nancy Pelosi out of nowhere being like, this is just a distraction. And you're like, from what? He passed the bill.
Yeah.
ICE is currently doing raids. Everything that he has wanted to happen is already come true. They're about to go on summer recess. Like, there is no reason really right now for him to be doing this big fucking dog and pony show.
Also, like, there appears to be a very good chance that the president is a actual full-on sex criminal.
Yes,
I don't think that's a distraction. Yeah. I think that's worthy of attention.
And it's also been documented, as we've said multiple times through multiple videos. This has been documented over and over again for fucking 3 decades now. So yes, it is very believable that the president of the United States did some fucked up sex shit because he's been fucking sued over it, and he's actually gone criminally charged for it.
I mean, the real distraction has been the fact that we've known all this shit for so fucking long. And it's only now becoming a real issue.
Someone pointed out on Blue Sky the other day that, like, in the top 10 chart of Netflix, the documentaries about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell have shot to the top 10. And it's like, oh, people are just figuring out about, and I guess that's true. I guess
better late than never, I guess. But it's all a distraction.
We're way too late. This is the second term, and he's already been voted in. Like, it's crazy.
Also, like, you can do politics on multiple fronts. I'm sorry. It's really
yes, people can
basic
walk
shit.
and chew bubble gum. Like everyone can concentrate on multiple things. It's like, this is really bad. There's other really bad things happening. But if you ignore this, you're doing him a favor.
You are. But yeah, it is still important to not lose sight of all the other terrible shit coming out of this administration. For example, here's the Washington Post with some news from the world of youth sports. A Little League team from Venezuela was denied entry to the United States for the Senior League Baseball World Series, according to the Little League International. The Cacique Mara team from Maracaibo was unfortunately unable to obtain the appropriate visas, Little League International said in a statement, adding that the decision was extremely disappointing, especially to these young athletes. The team traveled to Colombia 2 weeks ago to apply for their visas at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, the Associated Press reported. It is a mockery on the part of Little League to keep us here in Bogota with the hope that our children can fulfill their dreams of participating in a world championship, the team said in a statement to the AP. What do we do with so much injustice? What do we do with the pain that was caused to our children?
The decision to bar the teenage athletes from entering the United States comes as the country prepares to host the FIFA World Cup in 2026. That is 1 year away, by the way. And also the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. Absolutely not going to happen.
Shut it down.
Yeah, get rid of it. Though Trump's travel ban restrictions include an exception for any athlete or member of an athletic team, including coaches, persons performing a necessary support role, and immediate relatives traveling for the World Cup, Olympics, or other major sporting event as determined by the Secretary of State. Members of the Cuban women's national volleyball team were denied visas to enter Puerto Rico to compete in a tournament this month. Boy, that's not a real sport. This is like, even if it were somehow true that they're going to be very particular about this and make sure that everyone gets the proper visas, which is not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. This is going to be a fucking mess. Even the World Cup is going to be a fucking mess. But even if that were true, the attendance for World Cup matches in the United States no one's going to come.
Yeah, no, this is...
Why come here why risk it when you can go to Mexico or Canada to see some matches?
Yeah, with the World Cup.
Yeah.
The Olympics, I don't know how the hell that's going to fucking work.
Well, luckily we've got 3 years to figure that out. Yeah, we'll get it.
A lot can happen in 3 years.
That's right.
Some good things, some bad things.
It's just pointlessly cruel. I mean, these kids won the Latin American Championship, which is supposed to qualify them for the Little League World Series next month. But they can't go because apparently they're a threat to national security or some shit. Even though athletes participating in international sporting events are supposed to be exempt from these kinds of travel bans.
We can't let these Venezuelans in. They're going to hit too many dingers.
Yeah, that's right. Making us look bad.
Yeah. This is fucked up.
Everyone that plays baseball has to be 300 pounds.
Yeah, they got...
and they have to be American and 300 pounds.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's stupid. And it's cruel.
You shouldn't be able to steal a base. That's bad. That's stealing.
Oh, they came in here. They're committing crimes. They're stealing bases.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Some say they're the best at stealing. Mm-hmm. That's why they won. Doesn't seem fair to me.
Denied. And it's Marco Rubio doing it too, which is even worse.
Yeah. Well,
Marco.
It's like either this was an active decision by the State Department to do this,
be mean,
or it's just like the administrative side of things is such a fucking mess and so understaffed that
it's just an automatic denial.
Yeah,
I would assume that is the case, is that everything's just going to be an automatic denial, and then you have to fight to prove that this is necessary or something.
But can I still get the $250 fee from you, please?
Yes, every time. By the way, every time you reapply,
we'll take another look at it. But I'm going to need that $250 Visa integrity fee.
It's right here on my desk. But
may I interest you in a gold card Visa so you never have to deal with any of this? I mean, you got. Obviously, there's Clear, there's TSA pre-check, but if you want the velvet rope treatment, you're gonna need the gold card Visa.
Yeah, has Donald Trump's face on it and everything.
Come on in, spend that money. Now, as if this couldn't get any more ridiculous, while the Trump administration was blocking Venezuelan Little League players from entering the country, they were rolling out the red carpet for a Venezuelan guy that murdered multiple people.
Oh, this is so frustrating.
Here's the New York Times. He killed 3 people in Spain and fled to Venezuela, where he was sentenced to 30 years in prison, court documents show. Then last week, the Trump administration negotiated his release as part of a large prisoner swap, and he arrived on American soil. Now, the convict, Dahoud Hanid Ortiz, 54, a U.S. Army veteran, is free in the United States, according to 2 people with knowledge of the case. One said he was in Orlando, Florida. When the Americans put Mr. Hanid Ortiz on a plane on Friday back to the United States, at least some people in the Trump administration knew of his criminal past, according to a third person. Mr. Hanid Ortiz was among 10 Americans and U.S. legal permanent residents extracted by the United States from detention in Venezuela on Friday. In exchange, the United States agreed to allow the release of 252 Venezuelan men it had sent to a maximum security prison in El Salvador.
In 2023, officials in the Biden administration who had learned of his detention in Venezuela decided not to take him as part of a different prisoner swap, according to a former U.S. official. The officials said that the Spanish authorities had asked the United States to send him to Spain, but that Spanish officials ultimately decided against this, and the Department of Justice decided it didn't want him in the United States. The decision by the Trump administration to facilitate Mr. Hanid Ortiz's release from the Venezuelan prison has elicited anger and fear among relatives of his victims, and a man court records say he had intended to kill but who ultimately survived. Mr. Hanid Ortiz's crimes took place in 2016 in Madrid, according to Venezuelan court documents, when he visited the office of a lawyer, Victor Salas, who he believed was having a relationship with his wife. He killed 2 women there, as well as a man he mistook for Mr. Salas. He fled to Germany and then Venezuela. Spain sought the extradition of Mr. Hanid Ortiz, but the Venezuelan constitution does not allow the extradition of its citizens, and he was tried instead in Venezuela.
Like, this seems like some really basic shit if you're doing a prisoner swap, and obviously, like, you got a limited number of slots that you can fill. So you're going to want to do some, like, basic fucking background research on who these people are, because, like, yeah, Venezuela has been known to kind of arbitrarily imprison American tourists and people working for NGOs and stuff like that, but it's kind of stupid to assume that they aren't also imprisoning people who have committed actual serious crimes.
It's just a very obvious, like, the antithesis of their whole fucking marketing scheme around deporting non-citizens of the United States. We're just like, they're killers. We gotta get rid of everyone. They're killers and they're rapists and everything.
Except that killer. We
need him back.
Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't like the guy's wife was cheating on him.
Yeah. Convicted, by the way. He was convicted killer, so we have to get him back.
Yeah, convicted, and, like, I mean, it seems like Spain was just like, pretty cool for Venezuela to do, like, the whole court case and put him in prison.
Yeah.
And it's not our problem anymore, so whatever, he can stay there. And now they're probably wishing they had asked the United States to help extradite him back when they had the chance, because this is fucking crazy. He killed 3 people.
Nothing makes sense. That's kind of the point.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy might be roaming free in the United States, but
in Orlando, going to Disney.
Yeah. But at least no Venezuelan Little Leaguers are crossing our border and hitting dingers into our yards.
Making fools of our corn-fed baseball players.
Circles around us.
Yeah. Well, I get to first base. He's already round to the home plate.
Yeah. Anyway, everything sucks, but you know what doesn't suck? Our sponsors.
Thanks!
And this episode is sponsored by Turtle Beach. We've both been rocking their Stealth 700 headset for a while now, and not only are the memory foam ear cushions super comfortable to wear for hours on end, not only does the crystal clear sound quality definitely give you an edge in fast-paced competitive games, the 80-hour battery life is insane, and you'll almost never have to even think about charging it, which is great for me because I always forget to charge things.
I'm back to just mindlessly playing Diablo, but it is great just blasting in my ears.
Yeah.
The visuals on the screen are one thing, but my God, hearing that in such beautiful, crisp sound.
I'm back on Balatros, so all the sounds of the cards, I'm hearing them crystal clear in my ears.
That's right.
It's candy for my ears.
Those cards
the
are
Stealth 700.
They've never been so perceived.
And the Stealth 700 has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. That means you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and PC with just the click of a button.
And it gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. listen to your favorite song, maybe something off that new Clips album. What a wonderful album. While gaming at the same time. And that's all done with the Stealth 700. Turtle Beach doesn't just have amazing headsets. They have every gaming accessory you could ever want, and they're all high quality at prices that don't break the bank. From flight and racing simulators to controllers, keyboards, and mice, Turtle Beach is the ultimate gaming cheat code. Head to turtlebeach.com and use code TODAYDAILY for 10% off your entire order. That is 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with promo code TODAYDAILY. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, so please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
Back to the news now. And let's lighten the mood around here by revisiting a topic that we covered a little bit on Weekly Weird News. Now that more first-hand information has become available. The Tesla Diner.
It's a meeting place for all the Tesla fans, stans, and the haters.
Yeah.
It's a great... Elon has done something very special. He has created an ugly building where the worst people congregate and others can stand by and mock them and also have their voices heard about how upset they are.
It's really brought the town together.
Yeah.
In a very divisive way.
Uh-huh.
So in its first week in operation, Elon Musk's foray into the restaurant business certainly attracted loads of Tesla enthusiasts willing to venture to one of the most traffic-clogged, miserable parts of LA to wait in line for several hours for fast food served in little Cybertruck boxes. But this is not a pop-up, it is a permanent restaurant. And aside from the charging stations, it was hard for us to imagine there'd be much demand for all this after the initial novelty wore off. That remains to be seen, but luckily enough, hype has worn off enough that journalists are now willing to wait a few hours in line to see what all the fuss is about and tell us about it so we don't have to go anywhere near it. And here's some of the Guardian's reporting on their journalist experience at the Tesla Diner.
It was just before lunchtime on its third day of operation, and the line outside Elon Musk's new Tesla Diner in Hollywood already stretched to nearly 100 people. The restaurant has been billed as a retro-futuristic drive-in where you can grab a high-end burger and watch classic films on giant screens, all while charging your Tesla. After months of build-up and controversy, the diner had suddenly opened on Monday at 4:20 p.m., the kind of stoner boy joke that Musk is well known for. Hundreds of fans lined up to try burgers in Cybertruck-shaped boxes or take photos of the Optimus robot serving popcorn on the roof deck of the gleaming circular diner. But that was for the grand opening. Less than 48 hours later, when we visited for lunch, the Tesla Diner experience was less a futuristic fantasy than a case study in how to fail with impunity. Many parts of the experience were breaking down. The food was mediocre, yet the fans were still cheerfully lining up to buy merch. This is
Still the best diner I've ever eaten at.
This is absolutely like a restaurant that you would find in Disneyland or Disney World.
Yeah.
Except they don't have to maintain this for forever. They can just let it turn into shit, which it definitely is going to do.
Well, I mean, I think it's not fair to Disneyland restaurants because they actually have.
That's what I'm saying.
They put some effort into it. This literally has two robots behind glass,
Mm-hmm.
and then one robot that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
And is definitely remote controlled and not autonomous.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of seating that is completely antithetical to actual diner seating, which is supposed to be comfortable.
Yeah. So no, that's what I'm saying is
it's blinding to the eyes.
Once the novelty wears off, they're under no. They don't have to keep it up. Obviously it's already fading and now it's just going to be this charging station thing. Whereas Disney has to keep that magic alive in whatever it is. I guess.
I mean, this is some expensive real estate.
And it's expensive food. The hot dog was it's a fucking hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The line to get into the diner on Wednesday morning was so long, an employee told us, in part because of technical problems. The app that allowed Tesla drivers to order from their cars was glitching. So the diner was prioritizing Tesla owners who had to come inside to order instead. This meant that non-Tesla owners in the walk-up line might need to wait as long as 2 to 3 hours before we got our food. An employee gave the Wednesday walk-up line another update. They didn't have chicken, waffles, or milkshakes, or any of the charged sodas, which came with boba and maraschino cherries and extra caffeine. Ugh.
They're trying to replicate the Panera.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill,
this
we're
soda
gonna
will
kill
kill
more
you.
people than Panera.
Yeah.
It gets better and better, sighed a man behind me. Josh Bates and his son Phoenix were in town for the day from Orange County, where they live.
Go back.
We are big Musk fans, he said. Phoenix, age 10, had been excited to visit the diner. I never seen Elon Musk open a restaurant, so I just wanted to come here and see how the food is.
It's got to taste better than sucking my thumb.
He explained. But after waiting in line for 20 minutes and not getting much closer to ordering, Bates decided it was time to find somewhere else for lunch. It's the grand opening. Things happen, the father said. It is what it is. They're doing the best they can.
So we went down to the street to get the best hot dog in America at Pink's. The line's long. How bad could it be?
I've actually, to this day, never been to Pink's.
It's fine, but it's not worth the wait.
Yeah.
It's just a tourist.
It's impossible to fuck up a hot dog. I mean, Waltz has perfectly good hot dogs.
Yeah. Costco has great hot dogs.
That's right.
Yeah.
The idea of like waiting more than like a couple minutes for a hot dog is just completely unappealing.
Elliot, you don't understand. They got it. It's named after some kind of celebrity or movie, and they put chili and they slide a bunch of onion rings on it, and it's a feast.
I can do that at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, you can. Anyways, she ends up waiting 3 hours before ordering her food, and when the food arrives, it's cold and not particularly tasty. In her conversations with other people in line, it turns out a lot of people mainly were interested in seeing the Tesla robot that serves popcorn. Who cares? Literally go to Disneyland.
Yeah, they got
a president that stands up and talks to you.
They got Walt Disney now, and it's pretty fucking creepy, but it's also having some issues.
Yeah, that's the thing. The robots have issues. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, the robot is confirmed to be remote controlled, by the way, not autonomous. But it was apparently out of order after just a few days of doing the same basic task, which is what they're supposed to replace.
Yeah, I mean, this is
the menial, repetitive tasks.
This is such a like bad sign for it's like oh yeah he's fucking claiming that a year from now you're gonna have the only people fucking even working at this diner are gonna be these robots and they're gonna bring the food to you, and he can't even, this one robot that's literally just standing there and doing this throughout the day already broke down.
Yeah, not a good sign.
Yeah,
in fact it's a bad omen. Like it's a failed proof of concept.
Yeah, but they're still falling for it.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of people in line are just like, the robot is the future. I can't wait for it to steal my job.
It's just such a slack-jawed yokel thing to go see. Like,
yeah.
I want to see the robot that serves popcorn. Like, okay, they go to fucking like Knott's Berry Farm or whatever. They got animatronics there. Go to Disney. Like, who cares? They got at Disney. They got a little guy that cranks the popcorn in the popcorn machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. It's really beautiful.
Anyway, it continues. There was a large popcorn machine in front of me, which seemed to be where Optimus had been serving snacks on opening night. Musk had been posting on X earlier in the morning that Optimus will bring the food to your car next year.
On roller skates.
He did say that. And suggesting the robot might be dressed in a cute retro outfit.
We're going to give the robot big tits.
In reality, Optimus was nowhere in sight. The robot was, quote, out today, an employee told me later, as if the pricey piece of machinery were a human celebrity with a busy schedule. Maybe tomorrow. Is it possible to get some popcorn regardless of the robot? A woman asked. It's probably old popcorn, an employee told her regretfully.
They can't even make popcorn.
Well, that's what the robot was for. No one else knows how to work the popcorn machine except Optimus.
I could remember. I worked at a movie theater when I was 17, and I could probably figure it out.
No one else knows how to do it.
It's also, they need to have the robot outside smoking, like the woman from the Popeyes when Popeyes was like selling the chicken sandwiches too much, and she's just like, God damn,
yeah,
too many chicken sandwiches. But the Optimus is just outside having a robot cigarette.
Yeah. What would a robot smoke?
I don't know, but sparks would fly out of it.
Drinking a big old
can of oil.
Fifth of oil.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, now we're good.
And then it does the drunk walk that all those robots and all the reels that I see. Like when you're drunk and have to get firewood, and it's the robot trying to walk down a hill.
Yeah. But unlike a normal drunk who falls down and just sort of lays there, when these robots fall down, they start glitching the fuck out.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere near them.
Do you think that the Tesla bot that delivers food to your car at this diner, do you think when it rolls out with its giant metal tits, it asks what condiments you want, and then it squirts it out of its tits onto your hot dog?
Don't give him any ideas.
You want ketchup or mustard?
Because
the mustard comes out of the bottom one.
That's some shit that Elon would think is hilarious.
Great idea, Ricky.
Whoa!
By which I mean, I just had a great idea, guys.
Yeah, well. Meanwhile, Miles Klee of Rolling Stone also paid a visit to the Tesla diner, and his whole piece is worth reading, but he was unsurprisingly not impressed. Here's some of what he had to say. Outside, it's flanked by a pair of 4-story movie screens. Unbelievably, one of them totally blocks the windows and balconies of a neighboring apartment building where residents must be furious, that play space-themed Looney Tunes cartoons, old sci-fi movies, Cybertruck ads, SpaceX launches, and abstract laser patterns, usually at low resolution and with the wrong aspect ratio. Jesus Christ. Very few of the parking spaces face either screen, as they would in the traditional drive-in theater Musk had apparently envisioned. Noise concerns had been downplayed with promises that sound would beam directly into parked Tesla vehicles, but an episode of The Jetsons blared in the summer air as we turned the corner toward the diner entrance. Well, we gotta sell these spacely sprockets!
The people of La Brea, they love what Elon has done to the neighborhood.
They love bright lights and loud noise.
Yeah.
Which, like, you moved there, sorry, but also...
I mean, but this is generally a quieter part of Hollywood.
Sure.
Like, it's not Sunset, it's not Vine, it's not Hollywood Boulevard. Like, this is... It's not a big bright lights and loud noises part of town.
Yeah.
But it's also... It's a residential area that was built when this city was like 1/10 its population and is therefore just a total pain in the ass to get through and not a place you would ever go driving through unless you were very specifically going to the Tesla diner.
And this diner is so ugly that whenever it fails and closes down, like they're just gonna have to tear it all the way down. It looks like a stove exhaust on an actual restaurant.
I've heard people say that it would make a great weed store. And I agree. It looks like that's the only thing you could do with this building.
Yeah,
is a weed store or a total complete teardown.
Yeah,
probably get some pretty good coin for reclaiming all of that metal.
Sure.
Anyway, it continues. All told, none of this was worth the time or the expense. The heavy cuisine left us both a little queasy, and I was mildly nauseated again the following day to learn that someone had snapped photos of boxes of frozen products and milk sitting behind the restaurant in the July heat. If only there were a couple of helpful humanoid robots that could move them. Alas, despite Tesla's misleading marketing, the only Optimus models we saw were behind glass, posed like museum exhibits. The Tesla diner, like so many of Musk's ideas for the company, is intended to make a statement. And as always, that statement is no more nuanced or groundbreaking than Tesla is cool. Problem is that this mission overrides every practical consideration. In this case, how a diner normally functions and what keeps one in business. In that sense, you can regard Musk's silver eyesore on Santa Monica Boulevard as a culinary equivalent of the Cybertruck.
And it's just further proof that, like, don't ever trust this guy. He's gonna fail you he can't even fucking open a diner. And he wants to take people to Mars.
It is like really interesting that, 10 years ago when this guy would do a stunt and be like, wow, pretty cool. Okay.
Progress is coming.
It's crazy to still be into that shit in 2025.
You say that, but now
Elon Musk has invented restaurants.
Now every family on Earth owns their own personal child submarine. So
that's right. That's how I get around.
Yeah. Just room for me. Thanks.
I never have to worry about getting stuck in a cave.
Mm-mm. Anyways, now that Elon Musk is no longer running Doge and has fallen out with the president, the weekly protests at Tesla dealerships, they've died down a bit. But the opening of this diner has managed to reignite that flame. It has brought people together. And over the weekend, there were protests outside the diner from not only people who don't like Musk trying to rehabilitate his reputation through this stupid PR stunt, but also local residents who are furious about the massive increase in traffic, the 24-hour noise, and the light pollution, and the fact that giant screens are totally blocking their views. And yes, those appear to be big inflatable Elon Musk statues doing Nazi salutes. That's the real impressive technology that they've tamed the wacky waving inflatable art tube man.
You can choose what waves and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it's genuinely like some really impressive engineering.
And some very like well done cartoonish masks of Musk's face wearing multiple hats.
And listen, even if you love Elon Musk, if you showed up that day, that was the only robot you were going to see.
Yeah, and those ones worked.
Yeah.
They working as advertised.
Yeah.
Sending the right message.
You waited in line for 4 hours to see Optimus, and he wasn't there. But you got to see the wacky waver doing two wacky wavers doing the Sieg Heil on the
and guess what?
Santa Monica Boulevard.
Those were autonomous.
They
just
were.
Powered by Earth's wind and a fan.
Turnkey. You just turn that shit on
and good to go.
It'll Sieg Heil all day long till the power grid dies.
That's right. Which it will very soon.
It
Because
will.
he's boiling the earth.
So yeah, that's the Tesla diner. Still I'm very excited and intrigued to see where things are 6 months from now.
It's just like it's a beacon for the worst people in the city and outside the city, because people are obviously coming up from like Huntington Beach to see it. I had to show my son what a real man's diner looks like.
The Tesla stands are making their pilgrimages, but like at a certain point, like that's gonna fall off.
Yeah.
Even the people who live locally, like how often are you gonna be going to the fucking Tesla diner?
Yeah, the food's even if the food was tasty, it's not good for
The
you.
only place you can get epic bacon.
At midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, anyways, I give it maybe a year and a half, 2 years. And that's being gracious, and that's being like Musk is gonna fund it so that it doesn't look bad before like the midterms or something.
It's gonna be a sick weed store though.
Eventually.
Yeah.
He'll probably turn it into that.
Oh God.
Yeah. Tesla terpenes or whatever the fucking things are called.
Well, I mean, weed was made uncool already by Elon Musk years ago on Joe Rogan. So that would be the final nail in the coffin for any coolness that weed still had.
Yeah. Well, he can make it into like some kind of ketamine lab or something.
Tesla Integrity Farms. Get it? Like South Park, my favorite TV show. Did you see it? Trump has a tiny wee-wee.
I liked it.
I still haven't watched it. Probably won't ever. I don't know how to watch it. I don't have the TV.
I am the brave soldier that will watch the South Park episodes along with all of you.
It's not about bravery. I don't have over-the-air television, and I don't have Paramount Plus, so I don't know how the fuck I would watch it.
We need to get you YouTube TV. That way you can watch 4 news programs at the same time.
That sounds awful. Why the fuck would I want that? The only time I ever need broadcast television is like a few times a year during like sports finals and award shows.
Yeah.
That's the only time where I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks. But then, there's usually a Russian website out there somewhere where I can get around.
They got a new show on History Channel with Henry Winkler talking about dangerous stuff that was made in the past, like lawn darts.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Make sure you like the video. Give it a like. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment. Give us your 5-star review of the Tesla Diner below.
Yeah.
Make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to click the join button, that is up to you. But today was sponsored, so just buy some headsets instead. Watch our other videos. We got Kim Jong-un loving minions.
He loves them.
Yeah.
He has
And his minions love him too.
He has real minions that
That's
do
right.
his deed. Do his doing.
That's right. You'll find out. Watch the episode. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.